Hey y'all, welcome into the channel. So it is a Monday morning. I am sitting outside of a DMV with my husband. So I said, well, let me just bring this bit of information to you guys, because I was reading comments from yesterday's video about the gas and all of that. And y'all, a lot of y'all were telling me that this has happened to you or someone you know. Some of y'all even said, go out and purchase an EV, to keep from having to do that. But before you go out, if you were thinking about that, excuse me, this pollen is so thick, y'all. It's affecting me. Let me know in the comments, is it affecting you? So before you run out to purchase that new vehicle, a 2026 or an EV of any year, wait. Watch this video.
The environmental angle makes this even more complicated. Electric vehicles were supposed to free us from oil company dependence, but they've created a new form of control through charging infrastructure and battery management systems. Your electric vehicle isn't just a car, it's a data collection device that reports your driving habits, charging patterns, and location history back to the manufacturer. Tesla can remotely reduce your battery capacity through software updates, and they have. Other manufacturers are watching and learning from this playbook. Insurance companies are getting in on this action too. Usage-based insurance programs promise lower rates in exchange for monitoring your driving. Sounds reasonable until you realize they're building profiles that can be used to deny claims or justify rate increases. The data flows from your vehicle to the manufacturer to the insurance company, and you have almost no control over how it's used or who sees it. Privacy laws haven't caught up with automotive technology, leaving massive gaps that companies are exploiting. Here's where it gets really interesting though. The push toward autonomous vehicles isn't primarily about safety or convenience, despite what marketing departments claim. It's about control and data monetization. A truly autonomous vehicle doesn't need you to own it. Manufacturers envision a future where you subscribe to transportation services rather than owning vehicles outright.
Because I told you guys in my other video where, they want you to pay for everything, your air, your water, etc. Well, you will own nothing. You will own absolutely nothing, but you'll be happy. That is the new motto that the elites have come up with. And it's not just them that's doing it. They have lobbyists that are fighting for bills to go into effect, and some of them have already gone into effect. Vehicles that are 2026 are being fitted with technology that can control your vehicle.
Something's happening to car ownership that nobody's talking about openly. Mechanics across the country are quietly warning their most loyal customers to hold off on buying 2026 models, not because of reliability issues or recalls, but because of what's buried in the software. The traditional relationship between you and your vehicle is being dismantled piece by piece, and by 2026, you might not actually own your car in any meaningful sense, even after you've paid off every cent of that loan. Walk into any dealership today and you'll notice something strange. Salespeople are pushing leases harder than they ever have before. Finance managers are extending loan terms to 7 or 8 years without batting an eye. And the conversation around ownership has shifted in a way that should make you uncomfortable. This isn't just about monthly payments or interest rates anymore. The entire framework of what it means to own a vehicle is being rewritten, while most buyers are distracted by heated seats and 0% financing offers here. Starting with model year 2026, every major manufacturer is implementing what they're calling connected vehicle architecture, which sounds harmless enough until you read the fine print. This system gives manufacturers unprecedented control over vehicle functions through over-the-air updates, remote diagnostics, and what they describe as safety monitoring. Sounds reasonable on the surface, except these same systems can disable features you paid for, restrict where and how you drive, and collect data about every single trip you take.
You may purchase a vehicle and you may say that vehicle's $30,000, $40,000, and that vehicle comes with heated seats, that vehicle comes with all the bells and whistles, the navigation on the screen and all of that. But if you don't subscribe to what is going to provide you those heated seats, like, yeah, I'm getting heated seats. I got heated seats in here. Well, this vehicle doesn't, but I got heated seats in here. Guess what? If you don't pay for extra subscription, they can turn that off.
Toyota, Ford, GM, and Stellantis have all filed patents in the last 18 months for systems that can remotely limit vehicle speed, restrict geographic boundaries, and even prevent the engine from starting based on factors they determine. They frame this as theft prevention and safety enhancement, but the implications go far beyond stolen vehicle recovery.
And if you think that's not possible, it is. I remember, and this wasn't even a new vehicle, we went to this place. We had horrible credit at the time, so we needed a vehicle. We got a vehicle. Well, the vehicle came with technology in it where if you don't make the payment, they can turn it off. There was a time or two where we were late paying the bill, and guess what? Couldn't start the vehicle, couldn't turn the vehicle on. So they are putting things like that into 2026 vehicles. They're also putting into those vehicles the ability to not only track you. Now, mind you, they can track you in any vehicle you have right now that's 2000 or above, but they can track you. They can reduce your speed. They send all of this information back to your insurance companies.
Insurance companies are already partnering with manufacturers to access this data, and several states are exploring programs that would tie vehicle functionality to compliance with various regulations. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. These aren't theoretical possibilities buried in some obscure patent filing. To any dealership today, and you'll notice something strange. Salespeople are pushing leases harder than they ever have before. The difference is that 2026 represents the point where these features become universal rather than optional, where opting out means not buying a new vehicle at all. If you're in the market right now, seriously consider whether you need that 2026 model, or if a well-maintained 2023 or 2024 vehicle gives you a few more years of actual ownership. The premium you pay for newer technology might cost you far more in lost autonomy and ongoing expenses than you realize. Federal regulations are actually pushing this forward under the guise of safety improvements and environmental monitoring. The infrastructure bill passed 2 years ago includes provisions requiring kill switches in all new vehicles by 2026, officially for impaired driving prevention. But the technology does not distinguish between regulatory compliance and manufacturer control. Independent mechanics are already feeling the squeeze. Modern vehicles require manufacturer-specific diagnostic software to perform even basic repairs, and manufacturers are restricting access to these tools. Right-to-repair legislation has been introduced in multiple states, but automotive lobbying groups have successfully watered down or blocked most of these bills. By 2026, many independent shops won't be able to service newer vehicles at all, forcing you back to dealerships that charge 3 times as much for the same work. The financial implications are staggering when you think about it long-term. Previous generations could buy a car, maintain it themselves, or through independent mechanics, and drive it for 15 or 20 years. That's no longer realistic with vehicles that require ongoing software support and manufacturer access to remain functional. Your monthly payment doesn't reflect true ownership costs anymore. Insurance companies are already raising premiums on vehicles with advanced driver assistance systems because repair costs have skyrocketed. A minor fender bender that used to cost $800 now runs $3,000 because you're replacing cameras, sensors, and calibrated radar systems. Manufacturers know this and they're banking on it. The calculation is simple. Higher repair costs plus software obsolescence equals faster vehicle turnover. You'll request a ride, an autonomous vehicle arrives, takes you where you need to go.
This is all in an effort to control every single thing that we do. A lot of people think when Elon Musk is speaking that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He sounds a little off when he does it. And I kind of think that he plays into that.
I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional. It'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that.
World Economic Forum.
Right.
Davos,
right,
where billionaires fly in to decide the fate of the civilization that we currently enjoy.
Right.
And this is your message.
Right.
You're telling the plebs,
right,
you'll own nothing.
Right.
You'll be so happy. And like people are like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
And knowing that people aren't going to believe what he's saying, but he is in that business. He started a lot of that stuff. So that's what's happening with the EVs. They're watching what he's doing, and then they're moving on and trying to do it in other areas. And I will leave the link to the full video because I'm not going to show you the whole video. That way you can go and look at that. But don't just rush out and say, oh, I'll just get an EV if this gas prices keep going up. So I was just talking to my husband. He reminded me about our key here. Like this key, if you have a key like this and then you hit the button and the key pops up like a knife, This does nothing for cranking your vehicle up. So like you have the ignition, you have just a button. This does you no good. This lets you get in the vehicle, but you can't go anywhere. And then I started thinking, well, what about the truck drivers? Are they trying to take it to the level of what they're doing with the regular consumer? And he said that they are already working on stuff for the truck drivers because they want everything to be.
They don't want to drive.
They don't want drivers. And we know that they've been working on those trucks for a while. I showed y'all that like maybe a year or two ago.
This is the first driverless truck fully delivering supplies across the USA. This is going to take away millions of jobs from truckers. Kodiak Robotics just deployed the first fully autonomous freight trucks operating without safety drivers in West Texas, hauling sand through 100-degree heat and dust storms on 21-mile dirt roads. These trucks use 12 cameras, 4 LiDAR sensors, and 6 radar units to navigate completely on their own, while major companies like IKEA and Tyson Foods are already using them for daily freight deliveries. The most terrifying part? Kodiak can retrofit any existing truck into a driverless machine in under 6 months, meaning millions of trucking jobs could vanish overnight. 3.5 million truck drivers in America earn their living behind the wheel, but these autonomous trucks never need brakes, never demand raises, and never call in sick. By late 2026, Kodiak plans to have these driverless trucks operating on every major highway, completely replacing human drivers for long-haul freight. While you're worried about AI taking office jobs, robots are already stealing blue-collar work that millions of families depend on to survive. The trucking industry employs more Americans than any other profession, and artificial intelligence just made them all replaceable.
In some countries, they don't have truck drivers right now. They actually have trucks that drive autonomous. And when you think about that, that's a weapon. I mean, every vehicle's a weapon, but that's truly a weapon and no one's driving it. So that's something to think about too. I hope this video was helpful and useful. Please hit the like button, share the video out, and let me know what you think down in the comments. And I will see you guys in the comments and maybe in another video later today. Bye.
Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water.